Hi everyone, it's your Safiri host, Stephen Vincent. Join me as Safiri returns with a new episode where I travel to Portland, Oregon and share Black history facts from the local area. Safiri is your source for discovering little-known Black history facts. Watch every episode on our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Celebrate your history. This is Safiri. Portland, Oregon is a city known for its creative culture, progressive politics, and rich historic past. But for too long, the story of Portland's African American history has been largely untold. Despite populations of African Americans in Oregon dating back to before statehood, African Americans in Portland still face a lack of representation in the city's history. The African American presence in Oregon dates back to before the land was even called Oregon. The first known Black person who arrived in Oregon was Marcus Lopez during the 1792 Captain Robert Gray expedition. In 1811, an explorer named York arrived in Oregon as a member of the Lewis and Clark expedition. After York, Black people were largely excluded from the land that was to become Oregon due to white supremacy and racism. In 1844, the first laws were enacted in Oregon which prohibited Blacks from residing in the then territory. This exclusionary sentiment was culminated by an act of Congress establishing Oregon as a whites-only state in 1859. As a result, Oregon earned its place in history as the only state in the USA that enacted a law which banned Black residents. Oregon continued its racist practices by adopting a law in 1862 that required Black residents to pay an annual tax, and if the Black residents did not pay the tax, they were placed into forced labor. In 1866, Oregon citizens voted not to pass the 14th Amendment, denying citizenship for Black residents. Despite all the racist legislation, 128 African Americans managed to settle in Oregon by 1867. From 1900 to 1920, a handful of African American professionals set up businesses in the greater Portland area. In 1903, Oregon's first Black weekly newspaper, The Advocate, was founded. This period of history also saw the beginning of the movement to improve the living conditions of the African American community in Portland, culminating in the formation of the Portland chapter of the NAACP in 1914. The Portland NAACP chapter remains the oldest continually chartered chapter west of the Mississippi River. As the city continued to grow and develop in the 1920s, it's hard to ignore the significant impact African American citizens had on the history of Portland. Their many achievements in this period are proof that despite the challenges they faced, they were determined to move forward and make a real difference. In 1926, Oregon's racist laws that banned Blacks from the state were repealed, and in 1927, Black residents in Oregon earned the right to vote. The Golden West Hotel in Portland, Oregon is a symbol of the city's African American history. Founded by entrepreneur William Duncan Allen in 1905, the hotel was one of the few places of its kind for African Americans in the city, as hotels were segregated. Allen initially opened the hotel with the intention of providing a safe haven for African American railroad workers. The hotel was built with an emphasis on comfort, service, and hospitality. The hotel became well known in Portland's Black community, and many prominent figures, musicians, writers, and politicians visited the Golden West. Over the years, the property changed ownership after Allen sold the hotel in 1933, and the Golden West Hotel closed in 1943. Today, although the hotel is no longer in business, it stands as a symbol of Portland's African American history. The Golden West Hotel is also a story of determination and strength during a time when the city was not as welcoming. I'm traveler and Black history fan Stephen Vincent. Join me next time on Safiri.